Hey everybody, I'm Ilushia. Today we're starting in on Phantasy Star 3, and it's gonna be awesome. I was a little trepidatious about starting this one because it's a fairly long RPG, and I don't know how well it's going to turn out. But I'm willing to give it a try, and it should be an interesting experience at least. It's one of my favorite old RPGs. I grew up with a Genesis and not with a Nintendo console, so this is one of the games that I started playing when I was a really little kid. So hopefully you guys will like it too. The legends of the past shape our lives and those of our children. One such legend is of a struggle that almost destroyed our world. The name of Orachio and Leia echo down through the years, still inspiring love and hatred even now, 1,000 years after their tragic deaths. Their conflict wiped out civilization and left the survivors in a world of mutant creatures and warring pockets of men. Into this shattered world, you are thrust. To live or die by your sword and your wits. Naturally, this is actually sort of a lie. Just pay attention. Sort of a lie. We do actually pretty much end up in that situation, just not immediately. Give me a second here, folks. I forgot to set something up before we started. Here we go. Start. Alright, well, I'm playing with the keyboard because for some reason it was working with my Xbox controller earlier, but for some reason it's not working with it now, so yeah, whatever. Maya waits at the castle of Prince Rhys. I guess it's probably pronounced Reese. R-H-Y. I don't actually know how they pronounce that. Nothing unusual. What? Oh, I wasn't standing quite close enough. I'm like, what? There's a store here. I should be able to buy stuff. Monomates and dimates heal you. Antidotes cure poison. Escape pipes warp you back to town. Or at least out of whatever dungeon you're in. I'm not going to buy anything because, I don't know, I don't really need anything right now. I do love this guy's design, though. The blue hair and a giant freaking cape. I think every single character in this game, well, not every character, but every character who fills the first party slot in this game has a giant cape. Yeah, it's a bit of a spoiler. I probably shouldn't have said that, but it's not a big spoiler because by the time it happens, it's just gonna happen. Anyway, we've got other people. This is the inn where we can rest and recover, which we don't actually have any money for. Checking upstairs in some buildings is worthwhile, although I don't remember which ones are worth it, so we'll probably be doing a lot of wandering around in random places as we go through this game, as it's been quite a long time since I played this last. Weapon store, which again, we don't have any money, so we are completely unable to buy anything. Which is hilarious for reasons you will see shortly. There is no running or anything in this game. It is very old. That's our equipment screen. Carrots, group screen. You can open that with C, I think, or B, I think, for that matter. This is the medical expert's place. This is the fortune teller. If you ever get lost in the game and can't remember what the heck you're supposed to be doing, visit the fortune teller. As I recall, if you talk to them, I think that's what these guys are, yeah. If you get them to tell your fortune, they will give you advice on where you should be going and what you should be doing next. So if you ever get completely lost and have no idea where you're supposed to be, they'll help. I don't think probably won't be visiting them at any point in this game, because the game is actually quite good at telling you where you should be going next, or at least of only giving you one place to go for the beginning parts of it. So we have some guy telling us that danger is everywhere, and more importantly, calling us Prince Rhys. I think the other guy actually did that too. So yes, we are the prince of this land, whatever land this is. Which we still don't know, actually. Maya will be a fine queen for you. Thank you, I guess. Beware, Prince Rhys. Land's spies lurk about. 1,000 years ago, there was a war between Orachio and Leia, as we heard in the starting poem. This is the armor shop. Crawl. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. There is a word for that, thankfully. There's some really weird shops in this, as I recall. I think this one sells, like, skills or something like that? Techniques, yeah. I don't remember what you... Oh yeah, that's right. You run in... We'll get into that later, I think. Basically, they sell you magic, which really doesn't make very much sense in the context of this town. But we'll get into why it doesn't make sense eventually. It's about time you got married, Prince Reese. Apparently, being a 20-something and single is not a good thing for a crown prince. Which is not actually that surprising, considering they seem to be a feudal society and, you know, life expectancy of like 35 to 40. Have you found the princess yet, Prince? Isn't she in the castle or something? I mean, I was told that I was supposed to head to the castle. I'm just farting around and checking all the buildings first, because it's an RPG and you really ought to check every building. May Orakio watch over and guide you, Prince. Okay. So we have firmly established at this point that we are on the Orakio side of the Orakio-Leia War. Leia? I don't know. I pronounce it Leia. It's probably wrong, but that's the way I would pronounce it. Trust in Orakio. He can protect you from the lands. Are you staying long, Prince Reese? Maybe? Congratulations! And I love the funky-looking castle gates here. Sorry I'm being all sniffly. My nose is running really bad this morning for some reason. And doing all this talking is probably not helping any. Okay, so we have reached the palace. Hey guys. Hurry, don't be late for your own wedding. You're one lucky prince. Please escort your bride to the throne room. Prince Reese, Maya is waiting for you in the other room. So these guys are apparently the royal guard or something, who are waiting for us to get the princess before they, well, I guess she's technically not the princess, because, well, you'll see why in a minute. The woman that we are supposed to be marrying. I love this music, by the way. The music in this game ranges from really good to spectacularly bad, as you might expect for an old-style game like this. And here we get to see our potential bride with her very, very blue hair. Oh crap, they're scrolling. Perhaps someday we'll find out where I'm from and who I am. I assume that she introduced herself in the first bit. I was not expecting scrolling text, I'm sorry. I should have been on top of that, but I really genuinely was not expecting suddenly scrolling text. I'm not doing this, by the way. This is automated. You may be able to hear my keyboard tapping when I'm playing it normally. This microphone is very, very sensitive, and it does that. I, Reese, do take thee, Maya, to be my... Oh no! Suddenly thing! Filthy Iraqians, Maya will not be yours! And it vanishes. No! Return her, you foul dragon spawn of Leia! So, our bride just got kidnapped. I'll find Maya if I have to search forever! Reese, I'll take the army and destroy Leia's clan! King, don't be a fool! No one has seen a lion! For over 1,000 years, starting a war is not a rational thing to do. Cool off in the dungeon. But for a while. So, our character's bride just got kidnapped by what looked to be a demon. You can't stop me from going after her father, but I'll find her again and I'll bring her back! Behold the drama! I swear it! Oh man, he's made us swear in a video game. You know he has to do it now. And we're being led away into the dungeon. Hooray for dungeons. And here we are locked in a dungeon cell. Underground. Lovely. So, we were about to get married when some kind of dragon demon thing showed up, stole our wife-to-be, vanished, and then cursed us for being part of the family that we are part of. Isn't it lovely? Behold politics, why they ruin everything. Reese found 300 vista inside, so we got 300 money. We've got a monarch, which I think is the map in this game. I don't think I can actually use it here, because I believe it can only be used when you're outside on the world map. But I really should equip that knife in my right hand. Because, yeah. That's not actually what I want. Okay, so let's go through this. We have items, obviously. Items show you what each person is carrying. You have separate inventories for each of your characters, and every character has a limited size of inventory, as I recall. So you'll have to stay on top of how many items each character is carrying. Reese knows no techniques, and I don't think he ever will. You'll notice he has 0 TP. He's level 1, he's got some required EXP, he's got some stats. I don't know what the math behind the stats are, so I can't tell you how good a character is other than compare them to other characters. In fact, I don't think I ever used the stats screen when I was playing this as a kid. And we can equip things, and you'll notice he has head, right hand, left hand, torso, feet, and buckle. So yeah, we only have boots, garments, and a knife, and we have all those equipped already. I don't think I can use... Yeah, I can't use the monitor in here. I don't think I can use that until I get out on the world map, and then it'll show me a really world map. I'm sorry if I'm a little quiet compared to the... I'm Lena, I'll help you escape. Follow me. So someone has offered to help us escape from the dungeon. Yay! I believe it's actually not possible to talk to her before you open the chests. Arm yourself well and go find Maya. So we still don't know who this person is, other than that she has broken us out of prison after we were thrown in prison by the king. I don't believe we can actually go back into the dungeon at this point in the game. You will be back here, I believe, much later in the game. Yeah, you can see there's a person standing between us and there. Please stay on the other side of the counter. So we are not allowed to walk past the counter and go down into the dungeon. Figures. The Sapphire lets you enter the Eastern Cave. Okay. Machines used to fly out of the ruins near here. And now everybody is giving me standard generic-y RPG comments instead. Which is weird because you would think people would know that something had gone wrong. Anyway, I'm going to buy a shield because I don't believe that Reese can dual wield. Some of the characters in the game can, and some weapons take up both hands, but I don't believe that Reese can. So I'm going to buy a shield because... yes, and I will buy a hunting helm, and do I want to buy hunting armor? Let me go and check the weapons shop before I decide to do that, because I do actually have a garment, which is armor. It's just really shitty armor, so I want to make sure that I have, because I can put the shield in my left hand, which raises my defense. Next page, I put hunting helm on, which raises my defense by a little tiny bit. But that gives me a much better defense values than I had before. I want to go and check and see what the prices on weapons are before I decide whether or not to buy that armor. Because I don't have very much money at this point, and I probably won't be grinding for money because, well, this is an LP, and I don't think you people want to sit through that. If I'm going to do grinding, it'll be off-screen. But I don't want to do that very much because I don't want people to not know what the hell's going on. Alright, so I cannot afford the short sword at this point anyway. Needle and Claw is not actually useful to me because those are used by other characters, I believe. I believe I know what characters use both of those weapons as well. I know what character uses one of them, the other one is a little more speculative. Anyway, so since we cannot use any of those, I'm going to go back in here and buy the hunting armor, which should help us stay alive quite a bit better. We'll probably be selling that garment that we're wearing right now. Picking the right things on menus, my long-time nemesis, and that pushes our armor up, our defense up to a 40. And considering it was like 25 before, it's probably worth doing that. Oh, let me sell that government. Yeah, it's 7 Mista, but that's fine. Let's see, what else do I have that I can sell? I don't think I have anything else. Nope, everything else is equipped. So, let's go talk with people around town, and then I think I will stop, and we will continue next time with having left the town and starting to do our real adventure. I hear that Leia's monsters are everywhere. The South City Yada is a port town. To the south lies the city Yatta. It is a port town. The royal family is in mourning. Some of the translations... Sorry. This is a game that came out originally in, like, I don't even know, early 90s, I think. Like 91, maybe? And the translation is very sketchy in places. Arm yourself well, for your foes are deadly. Nothing quite as terrible as some of the other translations I've seen from that era, but there's a lot of not-so-good translations in this game. And she says exactly the same thing. It's almost like they didn't bother to give her text for when you weren't supposed to be talking to her. Alright, gotta talk to the person next door. I don't believe there's anyone on the second floor of any of the buildings in this town. At least not at this point. And there's... Remember, Arakio's law, kill no living thing. Yeah, well, we're going to be ignoring that in a big way. Oh yeah, trust me. We are going to be doing a lot of killing things. Although we may not, I don't know if you could technically call some of the stuff that we're fighting living things. Monsters in this game are weird. Making them pay for this, Prince. So apparently the people here are aware of the fact that our bride has been kidnapped. Who needs 3 gil in a fight? Yes, this is where, that's right, this is where you revive people who have died. So if someone in your team can no longer... And this person up here sells cures for status ailments. Not like object cures, but like if you go there with someone who has a status ailment, you can pay them money to get it removed. Which is very useful, as most of the status ailments in this game don't wear off, ever. So, yeah. In fact, I'm going to come in here to the item shop. This is the item shop. Yes, this is the supply shop. And I'm going to buy a couple of monomates. Not too many, just like 2. And an antidote or 2. That should be plenty. I don't recall generally needing that many objects, and you can actually carry quite a lot. You can see that now the second card has turned over and has items on it. The other 2 on the right-hand side can also be filled with items, so you can carry quite a large number of items, potentially, if you need to. But it is worth remembering who has what items as well. That's the inn, which we don't need. That's the weapon shop, which we've already been in. So, I think this is a pretty good place to call it. We will leave our hometown next time and begin our journey